such an asshole.
Aviator glasses are not wearing. I'm wearing navigator glasses. You guys dig that? Yeah, it's the old school Vietnam era. I guess they're called navigator glasses. So I'm taking those off because I can't see it. Those are linked below to the Amazon affiliate link. I'm gonna put on my cheaters because I can't see a darn thing and I'm old. So I am not doing this video to capitalize on the unfortunate circumstances of Steven Crowder. My heart goes out to him. I'm Gen X. I've seen enough people get divorced. Just like, yeah. And if you watched his video where he announced the divorce and all that, it shows a moral and a well anchored. He has a moral compass, as Dennis Prager likes to say, that the kids are the number one thing. So I'm sorry that happened to him, and I'm not trying to capitalize it. However, I did want to point out between him and Dennis Prager that they have made the Tradcon or conservative or Republican or whatever you want to call it argument against marriage, not through their words, but rather their actions. And they both, Dennis Prager on his third freaking marriage. And I like Dennis. Dennis is a wiser man than me. He's older than me. I think he's more intelligent than me. He's right about darn near everything else except crime. That's the movie none of you are going to get, except marriage. And he has very well put together logical arguments and all that. Well, here we got another corpse going down the river of divorce. Oh, look, is that Steven Crowder's corpse? And whereas the Tradcons or the conservatives have well intentions anchored in history and biology and all that, the advice they are giving you young men or men out there in general is wrong. And it'd be one thing if it was wrong in the sense they say, hey, Cappy, how do I get to the coffee cup? Let's say you want to go to Boulder City. You're sick of Vegas. You want to go over the hump. You want to go to Boulder City. It's where the Hoover Dam is. And you want to go to this famous place called the Coffee Cup. Maybe it's the Coffee House. Coffee House. Great omelets. They hire nothing but good-looking gals. I don't think any of them have tattoos. And there's a line always going out the door, so you got to get there early. And I say, oh, well, what you would do is from the Strip, you'd head south on Las Vegas Boulevard. You would take 215 east, and you keep on going, and then you exit on Highway I-10. Well, that's the wrong information. Now, you would go around Boulder, you go to the Hoover Dam, you say, hey, wait a minute, according to the map, the coffee house is back that way. So I gave you the wrong information, and all the cost really would have been at that time would have been maybe a 30-minute delay. You'd hook up to the old highway. I think it's 93. You'd hang a left. Atham, look it up. This is wrong advice on what is easily, for most people, the most important decision you're going to make. And it's not about who you marry. Now, that does ameliorate or increase your chances of divorce if you marry the right person versus the wrong person. But in terms of the damage it can cause, and this is not a joke, this isn't me being edgy. It is long ago, the case against marriage, people who are against marriage, it has long ago left kind of a fringe, edgy, aren't you cool? And, oh, you must write for the New Yorker, avant-garde thinking, to, no, it's a fact. It is a bleeping black and white MRF in fact. You are a fool to get married in today's America and Western in general. I'm not saying don't have kids. I'm not saying don't form a nuclear family. If you want to cohabitate, go ahead. I'm not saying any of those things. What I am pointing out, what I am claiming, it's not a claim, it's a fact. Do not sign a marriage contract and do not, by any other means, accidentally slip into the legal status of marriage, either through common law marriage. Whoa, you live together for a little bit. Now you are married. I didn't agree to this. Too bad. The state of whatever moronic states still have that law. Now you are, and now you're exposed to a whole host of rules and laws that you never agreed to. And like I said, if it was just, oh, you got a little bit lost, it cost you 30 minutes of your life. This costs predominantly men, though not always, but predominantly men, your entire life. Your entire life that you had built up until that point, and then you gotta hit reset the button, at least when it comes to family, love, marriage, building the house, and all that other stuff. In Dennis' cases, oh man, he just loves that reset button. Reset, reset, reset. Although he probably is not the one necessarily hitting the reset button. It is a near total cost. And it depends on the state and what your income is in the individual case of divorce. But generally, guys, you're going to lose half your assets. I believe it's 65 to 70% of the time women will file for divorce. Maybe it's 70, 80. But if the woman has a college degree, I'm not against college degrees. I'm against stupid college degrees. 90% of the time, it's the woman filing. And disproportionately, in part because men make more, have more assets, et cetera, you guys get wiped out financially as well, or heavily impaired financially. And man, if I feel real bad for Steven Crowder. You could hear it in his voice. It hurt him emotionally. Forget the financial toll, forget the legal costs and the legal financial costs. Forget all that. The emotional harm and damage you're going to do to yourself getting married. I'm sorry, getting divorced. That's not an acceptable. It makes the proposition of marriage an unacceptable risk to all men, at least in the United States. On what other countries are like. And given that it is a life destroying, go look at self-deletion statistics. Oh, there's a little bump, not a little bump, a big bump after someone gets divorced and their family is ruined. And here you got these idealists, not an ideologue, idealists, who are more idealistic than the 23-year-old ditz who thinks with her journalism degree she's going to actually go become the next people who brought down Nixon, whatever it was, Woodward and something or other. They think they're going to set up the new Hearst Publication Foundation. You guys are equally delusional about your chances of success with marriage as people are with their liberal arts degree. And again, I respect Dennis Prager immensely, but he's just wrong. And Steven Crowder even says, well, it doesn't mean I'm against marriage. You damn well should be, Steve. Because if you paragons, that's kind of what you guys are. You're paragons. You're example. I don't mean in like, oh, look, there's a bad example, but you guys are stalwarts. You kind of people to look up to. Figures within traditional conservative, maybe more libertarian philosophy in some cases. And you guys are, it's not Russian roulette. You got a 5 and 6 chance of living. Divorce, it's 50-50. Oh, fine, you live. Good. Yay, you're a slave for Lord knows how long, depending on the income you make. And I really need, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to convince the Tradcons or the conservatives that they really ought to be 180ing their information and their advice to young men and men in general, saying, no, this is too risky. Don't do it. But they're not going to. And so it's up to alternative voices, or maybe not so big of voices, or just empiricists and economists. And I dare I say, or throw myself into it, philosopher adjacent men. Guys, you don't believe me? Go look up the divorce statistics. That's the other thing I don't get. Look, I understand the genetic, cultural, traditional, biological compunction for men and women to get married. I need, especially you men, to frontal cortex up, ignore your hindbrain, stop thinking with the little brain, ignore all of society pushing, ignore what your parents say. You need to look at this with clear empirical eyes. And it doesn't take a lot of research. Just a little bit under 1 in 2 of you are going to get divorced. And if you're, what about cohabitation? That has the same thing. Go get my book, what the hell was it? The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. You want numbers? You want numbers? Here's your numbers. Look, show me your sources. Here's a whole book of sources. You need to realize it's a 1 in 2 chance of something, or the worst thing ever happening to you in your life, bar death. And I don't care how much cultural pressure, familial pressure, societal pressure, romantic pressure. Where are we going? Where is this going? No man in America should be getting married today, period. That's a fact. That's not an edgy position. That's not me being bold or trying to do clickbait. 1 in 2 of you are going to fail, married or cohabitating, by the way. That's the statistic I was going to go. And it will be a life-destroying consequence if it fails, if you get divorced. They always do I could do Russian roulette, but you could have a Derringer with just two barrels. More people are like, oh, you go up into the plane and like there's a 1 in 2 chance your parachute would open. Would you go up? You guys would. You succumb to all the different sorts of pressure within society. And where's this going? I won't give you sex. And you guys just keep on going. You just keep on going. And here's these blessed, idealistic, traditional Tradcons, conservatives, whatever. The institution of marriage is shit. It is in the garbage. In part because men, I will be fair in this, although I would blame women a little bit more. Women have really no interest in marriage, what it used to be, a traditional marriage. Absolutely not. They want a wedding. They don't want to be wives and mothers, generally speaking. And they certainly are incapable of selflessness and altruism, which is what all love is based off of, where you love somebody more than yourself. That obviously is not the case. And we could go back and like, look, 2 captains sink a ship and all that other stuff. They're not going to submit, as you guys like to biblically say. It's just not it. The culture has changed that 1/2 of the population, one entire sex, is just no longer interested, congruent, or willing to get married. Or they get married, but not to maintain a marriage. And you guys also also from the conservative Tradcon, oh my God, men aren't working anymore. Oh, men gotta do more. They gotta work up. They gotta man up. No, how about that? No, how about I work my 20 hours a week. I live very minimally. I get my bachelor hut, my trailer on my property, and I don't want to work. I'm just going to bang on my drums all day. And here you guys are. Why don't you want to get fed to the meat grinder? You got a better chance of being a Russian soldier living the current war in Ukraine with no training right now. And I got these idealists that are just in love with, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's not their fault. It's the way humanity was for all of its entire time. But that is not this time. We are you guys should be thankful in one way that the Chinese curse is actually, may you live in interesting times. But by God, by golly, here comes well-endowed mind. This is a great time to be alive because you guys get to witness this. Some people got to see the moon landing. Some people got to say, oh my God, is that Alexander the Great? Lock the gates. Some people got to, I don't know, see some really crazy stuff happening. Right? You get to witness where, I don't want to bore people too much with the boring economics, where the economy has become so productive and efficient, the relationship where women did rely on men for their survival, essentially, is no longer, it's obsolete. And you get this, you are witness, you guys get a front row seat to the world's largest and most important sociological experiment. What happens when women don't need men anymore? And what I would argue is that this increase in divorce and blah, 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 and the crisis of marriage and men not working, and it's not that we abandon God. It's not that we got to get back to traditional values. I will say it once again. And if you don't believe me, go pick up my book, The Book of Numbers. Maybe I'll go link to it down below. Women don't like men that much. And if they are not absolutely perfectly happy with the guy they got, there's nothing holding them there. Nor am I even arguing should there be. This whole new unexplored area we're in right now. I don't want people being beholden or dependent on one another. I'm all for independence. I'm all for choice. But women don't need men anymore. They're not forced to the negotiating table anymore. And we're starting to find out, especially now, you can make the argument here in today's current young modern environment, feminism is certainly pitting the sexes against one another, villainizing men and the patriarchy and all that. That's certainly not helping. But look at their behavior, whether influenced by feminism or not. They get to, well, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. They don't like you guys. That they don't want to. They'll get married. They get the wedding. This isn't for me, and it's over. And what's particularly appalling to me, it's such a sad thing when you see people's true nature exposed bare, whether that's through economic advancement, technological advance, or whatever, is just how little most people care about their fellow, their children, basically. But not Prager. Crowder is right. The kids, number one, the kids. What? Well, I could see people are more, for some people, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what group of people really likes the divorce, but some people really love themselves more than their children. You know, that's why daycare exists, so people don't have to raise their kids because they love their SUV and their master's degree or whatever worthless false gods you idiots are chasing right now instead of love, your fellow human being, especially your children. And maybe I've been on the cynical fringe too long. Maybe I've been looking at the abyss too long, but I'm coming back and reporting to you. Well, you see, their behavior indicates that they love themselves ultimately as a group. And that this marriage, okay, sure, they want the ceremony. Maybe they want kids and a husband as a checkmark box. But when it looks to time to actually be a wife and a mother, oh, whoa, that's like third or fourth next to, well, I got to whatever. Fill in the false god, my Range Rover, the SUV, master's degree, career. Again, not saying women shouldn't work. Absolutely not. But they are making a very clear choice. Society-wide, maybe not conservative gals, though in the case, the two gentlemen below. And since this is such a risky endeavor, and man, you're genetically, emotionally, psychologically how to want it. There's nothing really more. There's nothing. Well, okay, there's more to life than that, but there's nothing more important. And you guys be. So I understand your compunction. You gotta wake up, guys. You gotta do it smart. Put all your assets in your mom's name. Whatever you gotta do. Go get some trusts. Screen better. I know that's kind of impossible. I've done the numbers. I know the percentages of marriage women that are marriageable. It's pretty darn low, depending on the age range you want to look at. How'd you figure it out, Aaron? That seems kind of an interesting methodology. Why don't you pick up the book then and go look through it? But by God, guys, a 1 in 2 chance of getting divorced, and but conservative reasons. And here's another one, ladies and gentlemen. Forget the 1 in 45% divorce. Do you know what percentage of marriages are actually happy? The statistics are somewhat difficult to come by. I had to kind of come up with different ways to kind of ballpark it. It's only like 14% of marriages end up being successful. And by successful, I mean till death do you part and happy. So if you don't get divorced, if I remember the statistics correctly, there's only a 28% chance that you'll be happy. The remaining 72% of you are miserable. So it's an 86% failure rate as far as I'm concerned. Why the hell are you people doing that? Did you know every time I hit myself in the hammer with my foot, 86% of the time I connect and it hurts? Yeah, maybe you should stop doing that. Ah! It's not complicated. It's not deep. It's not philosophical. It's an 86% failure rate. Half the time it ends up with financial costs and consequences. And we have to sit here and argue about this. I get so tired, not to toot my horn. I'm so tired of being right all the time and saying, hey, the emperor has no clothes. the Russians are coming, something I don't know, but the dot-com bubble, the education bubble, the housing bubble. And now I'm looking at this and all the data. Whoa, we thought the same way all the time. Good. Well, did the divorce that you had, or the 3 you might have had, Mr. Unnamed Person, has that convinced you yet? No. Okay. I don't have the reach of Crowder. I don't have the reach of Prager. I don't. And pretty much everything else they say, I would agree with. But by God, by golly, for the sake of well-endowed Molly, can you individually, those within earshot of me, and for those of you who talk to other people, can we start perpetuating the fact no one should be getting married? No one. I'm not saying don't have kids. I'm not saying don't live in a house with the nice lady if it's in a non-automatic, you're married because we said so state. I'm not saying don't have kids. You could go ahead and form families. But 1, don't get married. That's dumb. And 2, guys and ladies, for those of you who might have more money than the man, all right, protect your assets. It's just so at minimum, while you're suffering heartbreak and the destruction of your family, you at least aren't in the poorhouse. Okay? Can we do that? Huh? So that's it. That's all I want to say. The conservative and Tradcon argument against marriage has already been made by the actions of the Tradcons and conservatives who keep getting divorced. And at a certain point in time, like any other human being, you got to stop listening to what people are saying and start looking at what they're doing. And if you don't believe me, you think, oh, I'm just a negative, edgy, who's trying to get click, go read my book, The Book of Numbers. Oh, I don't know. Talk to your dad. How many more? Did you see the corpses of the baby boomer men that just got blindsided by the semi-truck of divorce? Have you not seen that? Didn't you guys live through it as children? Oh, Dad must have been a dick to Mom. I won't be. Oh. So I think link below. Maybe I got the book of no, that's right. I have my cool aviator glasses. If you want those cool aviator glasses, the link below. And also link below is a course that I opened up. Not because of this, but it's germane to this topic. It's called The Dad You Never Had. God bless Dennis Prager. And God bless Steven Crowder. But these people who are stuck in the past are probably giving 95% good advice. Okay? But even if you have a dad, even if he is, and even if he's participating, he's not giving you the modern day advice that you need to protect yourself. And there's a lot of mines out in this landmine field. And so even if you have good dads, if your dad's like, well, happy wife, happy life, you need that course. And no, I'm not trying to grift a profit off of it. I'm trying to save your freaking lives. But I did put a lot of time into this course, 12 freaking hours. That is the best option. Is you got your dad, he's there, he's participating, major in engineering, son, let's go to the Eagle Scouts or whatever. He's very participative. Happy wife, happy life. You only need 1 chapter. But for the rest of you who, I don't know, how many of you are from a broken home because mom decided to divorce dad? How many of you from a broken home because they were never married? How many of you don't even know who your dad is? But he's a dick according to your mom. You know what? So if you want the nightmare to end, you don't want to be sitting there like paying alimony and child support. Say, what happened to my life? My life is destroyed. My family is gone. Have your kids turned against you? I don't know. Maybe get some modern day. Maybe it should be the older brother you never had, because I'm very angry. I'm not that old yet. But that's linked down below too. Because guys, you don't have the time to be taking this horrific advice from older people, especially on something as important that could destroy your life. And so my sympathies to Mr. Crowder, my sympathies thrice again to Dennis Prager. We going for 4, Dennis? 4? How many times can you get married there, sir? But for the rest of you, I'm going to say, just look. Just look at him, man. They're banging their head with a hammer. Oh, this hurts. Keep banging your head. You should bang your head with the hammer too. I'm going to tell you not to bang your head with the hammer. All right. Let's go to the super chats if we happen to have any. It's all, and you know what? For the conservative libertarian types out there, I don't think Steve needs criticism right now or gossiping or anything like that. We caught up up at the top. All right, let's scroll through the super chats. Let's go through the super chats and have ourselves a treat. Alex Patino, truck driving Latino, agent in the field, the only one of his kind. $5. Here's a t-shirt idea, a fleece club, a picture of a sheep man in divorce court getting fleeced. That'd be an awful lot going on the shirt. I think a shirt just saying don't marry would be good enough. But a shirt that doesn't do the marketing it once did. All we got to do is get this out on the internet. All you got to do, what I think it is you got to overcome your biological, cultural, religious, whatever pressures. Indoctrination is too strong a word, but conditioning. And just look, it doesn't matter. Jewish, Muslim, Christian, atheist, black, white, Hispanic, that doesn't matter. Wookie, take the wool off of your eyes like, oh, crap. It's Muslim, it does matter. The Moroccan guy, I don't know if he was Muslim, but I'm going to assume he was. Oh, he married a European girl, did he? Oh. And see, I don't get it. Like marriage, the license is almost like prerequisite courses for your college degree. It is completely unnecessary to get the education that you need. A marriage license is completely unnecessary to get the family you want. There is no upside potential for men. Ladies, obviously, in general, yes. So as your financial advisor, I'd advocate women get married because you have an upside financial potential. Patrick at Lithuania, €2. Hey, motorcycle season starting up. Woo. Yeah, it's already started up for me. It was late here in Vegas. It was cold. It was cold. And now it finally came back. Now it's almost too warm to ride. But I'm getting that. Brian Dupree, our hiking agent in the field, $5. I'm not any happier now that I'm divorced, but I'll tell you that I work half as much and somehow I have more money and less obligation. Yes. I mean, it's anecdotal. I got a buddy. Him and his wife were married, and she was a real hardworking gal. They got divorced. All of a sudden, all the crap was out of the house. He was like making another, I think, 16 grand a month. Like, where does the money go? That's why Cappy has separate finances, which always eliminates a lot of potential arguments, though my girlfriend, I would say, is exceptional. She is rare. Where the GF, hey, what do you think of that? I'm like, go get it. It's your money. I don't care what you do. I have my money. You have your money. Nothing on this little finger here. You have complete and total control and agency. And I always strongly recommend you make sure your girlfriend has another house. You could buy whatever you want, put whatever you want in your house. Hey, this rarely, but it did happen. Hey, wouldn't this be nice? I'm like, in your house, it would be. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Mine. Wasn't it Hank Steele? Reardon Steele. Hank Reardon. Or do you dislike that concept of mine? If you guys look at the numbers as to the finances and everything, it is appalling. You're like, oh, I really do spend that much money. Well, yeah. Hanton Clogs, $2. Love and hope, Cappy. Stop being so nice. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what Mr. Crowder is going through. I feel bad for him. But let's learn from other people's mistakes. That's the quickest way to improve your own life and advance society. Learn from others' mistakes. Project Masculinity, £5. Moving out in June of a house of multiple occupancy to my third property, leaving behind a 69-year-old with 3 failed marriages. What is that? Is that your wife or your mom? Or I'm presuming you're a guy. Project Masculinity, probably a guy. leaving a 69-year-old with 3 failed marriages. All right. Don't get married again, buddy. Don't get married again. Patrick, Lithuania. €2. Come visit Lithuania in August. We'll lend you a gold wing. No, I got work to do. I gotta go and travel overseas, and I wouldn't mind going to the Baltics. It'd have to be summertime. I am not going to that place in winter. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sergio Cole. God darn it, guys! When you get old, one day I had vision, the next day I didn't. Cole, Sergio Cole, 5 British pounds super sticker, but I can't see what it is because I'm using StreamYard. So I apologize, Sergio, but thank you for the 5 pounds. Hanton Clogs, $2. Good to see you, Cappy. What's up? How's I got my Hawaiian shirt on, and I'm looking good. I'm starting to fill out my clothes now because of all the working on it. I look good, and I put on my Vietnam era aviator and navigator glasses. Girlfriend's like pawing at me. Really, no joke. No other girls notice me, but girls are like, hey, how you doing? And like normally we had coffee. We've been dating a long time. Oh, get away from me. I don't want to touch you. And we have coffee in the morning. She's always leaning over, putting her hand on my stomach and my chest, like, what the hell's going on? I go, yeah, the muscles. That thing. Life is good. Life is good. So I'm going to go to a steakhouse tonight because I didn't get divorced. And then might have a cigar tonight because I didn't have child support. And then I'm going to do whatever I want because my girlfriend and I have an agreement. Just some guy, $2. I picked the wrong one. No, Steven Crowder. Don't. Come on. Go. Look, we all been there. Maybe not married, but we all had the breakup. We didn't know what we were doing. I guarantee. What do you think Steve Crowder's dad told him? Seriously. Steve, by the way, if you're listening, why don't you entertain? I know it's verboten. I know, this red pill content or reading the Rational Mail or my book or something like that. I know it's verboten, but there's a reason it's like gaining traction. There's a reason the Whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit has higher growth rate than any of the legacy media. Andrew S., $5. Marriage counseling and 99% of churches always side with the women and tell the guy to man up. The church will make your marriage worse. Game is rigged. Yeah, I no, I got an idea. I got a plan. Gather around. Like on football, gather around. You're drawing it on your hand. How about we all don't get married, huh? We still get the sex. Could still have kids if you like, but we don't do the marriage thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. And break. What will happen to society? I don't know. A lot less kids are going to be ruined through divorce. It's just me. Who cares if society's population goes down? Society, it doesn't. Declining population doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's not. It's what the income per capita of the country does. Oh no, there's less people in the future. So what? They inherit all the baby boomers' houses and boats. So instead of here between you and your 4 kids, we're going to split the estate. It's just one kid. Here's the $7.8 million estate with the classic Mustang. Oh, thanks, Dad. Bum, 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 bum. Come on, where'd it go? I know we had more. I don't want to miss anyone's super chats. Hand clogs, $2. Talk to my dad. Why do you think I give you monies? Look, you got to be easy on your old man too. Like they didn't know. They were somewhat principled. Like they took a vow. I know several men who took a vow. Like, well, I can't divorce. I took a vow. I'm like, you better get your morals back in line with threats facing you right now. But they took vows. Tragically, some men love their wives still and their children more than themselves. Heaven forbid. Wandering Warrior, $10. Boomers glass half full. Millennials glass half empty. Gen X cappy men. This is piss. Don't drink it. Yeah. You got it, Wandering Warrior. You got it. Oh. I would be giving advice to women, but there's a reason I don't do that. By the way, this is largely just going to be male advice for sons, not daughters. Daughters, that's a completely different world. But men, you're the ones that propose. So teenage suicide, don't do it. If you guys remember that joke. Hadn't Clogs 420. Relax, Cappy. Have some monies. Thank you. Thank you. I will. Today's proceeds will go to gas. Thomas Berend, $5. Cappy, once I got divorced, both my finances and my health got better, along with my peace of mind. Keep up the good work. I know. It's just don't get married. Don't get married. Journey Charles, enjoy $5. The problem is the Western world stopped raising kids to be equipped for marriage. You are 100% correct, Journey Charles. Enjoy. We are not mature enough for marriage and raising children. We just aren't. We're self-absorbed, materialist scumbags, frankly. And I'll point out yet again, one of the main reasons for failed relationships, a lot of time they don't never get off the ground, is we are a physically revolting and ugly population. 70% of us are fat and overweight. Don't come up to me. Well, I want to get married and fall in love. Well, before love, it's not chemistry. It's not personality. It's called sexual attraction. If you don't have that, you're not going to have love. Sorry, ladies. Show me where the guy ever loved you for your personality. Show me that. Show me that. Path Forward Creatives, $5. It's amazing how out of touch guys like Ben Shapiro and Crowder types are in regard to the dating and marriage market. This is the 1950s. Yeah, but then they get married relatively young. And I know Shapiro is Jewish. Prager's obviously Jewish. Was Crowder from a particularly religious family? Maybe there was a religious pressure to get married. It's so simple. Don't marry. I'm not kidding. Like, don't do drugs. Here's your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any question? Here's marriage. And like, you got your family. Here's your marriage after divorce. And then you're porn, like looking at a noose. Don't get married. Journey Charles, enjoy $5 again. The church has failed and secularism has won the culture war. And the destruction of the USA is key to globalism. It's easier to control single. I'm not going to even get that advanced or conspiratorial. Rusty Fuel, $5. I think this YouTube channel is really just Cappy's anger management. Yeah, it is. Why do you think I started the podcast? You know how many blogs and not blogs, but podcasts were started because men wanted therapy, but they weren't going to go to some 24-year-old hack that has some kind of degree but no real world experience and constantly lives off their parents or the government. Oh, not to mention the psychology. What was the American APA, American Psychological Association, being masculine is toxic. F off. F off. Should do a video on why you should not listen to women when they cry. Because, but she cried, and that's why I proposed. That's about it. All right. So there you guys go. The Dad You Never Had, link below. The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI and the Pursuit of Women. Look that up on YouTube or on Amazon. And then hang on, let me sign out with my fancy glasses, even though I'll be blind, won't be able to see anything. Oh, we got Walker Wall. Oh, God, I can't see the mouse. Walker Wall, girl brought me cookies twice this semester, was a nice thing. In 2023, a mostly liberal school. Well, that's a nice girl. Maybe date that girl. Maybe say, potentially, I'd like to have a family with you. Oh, no, we're not signing that marriage. No. And only in these states will we have that family. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodle. Oh, wait, one more. All right, that's it. Hold no more super chats. Project Masculinity, 2 pounds. Cthulhu for President 2024. I think that's who we're going to get no matter what. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.